One of the things that the Rebbe spoke about quite a few times was that everything that he does has a ripple effect. He can't tell you that it's only the Geya to me, that's my business. Because whatever you do affects other Yidden, and by other people it could get worse and worse and worse. Therefore, we have to be very careful. So I want to repeat a story that the Rebbe told, and this is Shabbos Pasha Shmini Tov Shinchov Ches. And he told it in the name of the Frierdiker Rebbe, but he told the story Bekitzer. So I'm going to tell the story the way the Rebbe said it then. And also, then I'll tell the story the way the Frierdiker Rebbe told it, Yutas Kislev, Tov Reish Pei Dalet. And the Rebbe said that there was a person who was called Yoshe der Klutz. Yoshe was his name, Yosef der Klutz. He was a Yid that learned 18 hours of Misles, and because he was so poor, he didn't have a chair, so he would sit on a piece of wood. And since he shokels up Bashas, he was learning, so after a while, there became in the Klutz means a piece of wood, became a place like a seat. And therefore, he was called Yoshe der Klutz. So they asked him, you're learning at 30, 40 years, you're learning 18 hours a day. Why can't you stop learning a little bit, a half hour less? Learn only 17 and a half hours. And he said, if I'm going to learn less, another Yid, and I think the Lashon Rebbe said that Amteker Zun can bite in the Mrendel. The pharmacist's son in the city could change his rendel, which the Rebbe says in Russian, this was an expression that they used to use, someone who shmatzach, someone who converts chas v'sholom. So they asked him, what do you mean? So he said, when he learns 18 hours, the one that's in a lower level than him learns a little bit less, and the other one learns a little bit less, because everyone looks to the one higher, and if the one higher is starting to be less, so he also could be less. Till the lowest level of a Yid, the lowest darge, if he becomes less, there's nothing else that he has. The only thing he has is that he didn't shmatzach. That's his only Yiddishkeit. And if he goes less, that means he will shmatzach. And the Rebbe said the same thing is in the good side. Adrabah, good side is even more that whatever you do, then it has an effect on others. This is the way the Rebbe told the story, Shabbos Pasha Shmini Tov Shinchov Ches. The Frierdiker Rebbe told the story more ba'ariches. And he said it was the Asifes HaRabbonim Shnas Etar Tov Reish Ayin. There were a lot of Rabbonim in the hotel. They were all together. And the Frierdiker Rebbe was Meshamish them. So he was also Meshamish Reb Chaim Brisker. So Reb Chaim Brisker told him that his father, Reb Yoshe Ber, would say twice a week a pilpul, a big pilpul for the two lomdim in Brisk. Bedel der Horb gives a different name here. And Kalma der Klotz. They used to call them like that because they learned a lot. So Bedel learned so much that he got a horb. A horb means a hunchback. So he was called Bedel the hunchback. And Kalman learned so much on a piece of wood that he made a hole in the wood from sitting on it so much. And they were great gainim, and he said the pilpul for them. Once there was a story in Brisk that one Yid was taken to jail, and he was going to have a trial, etc., etc. So the Yoshe Ber and a Jewish lawyer were involved in trying to save him. They made up a certain day that they're going to go wherever they have to go to try to save him. When the day came, this lawyer came to the place where he was sitting, and he saw him sitting, came to the house. They told the house of Rabbi Yoshe Ber, they told him that he's in Bismedrish. They went to Bismedrish. He saw that Rabbi Yoshe Ber is giving a Shiur in Gemara and being a Bil Pilpul with Bedel der Horb and Kalman the Klutz in the Yonim of Tumah Vatara. He didn't want to disturb him, so he waited on the side. After a while, Yoshe Ber saw him, he told his Talmidim, he got to stop because I have to go for something at Pekuach Nefesh, and they both went. On the way, the lawyer asked Rabbi Yoshe Ber, please could explain to me, what are you involved in him? First of all, what's the Negei Tumah Vatara now? And also, whom are you giving the Shiur for? For Bedel the Horb and Kalman the Klutz? They themselves lummed him. So he said to him like this, Fashtaista, you have to understand like this. I say a pilpul for them. If I say a pilpul for them, so then in another shul, they say a blood Gemara. They learn a blood Gemara. In the other shul, they just learn a simple Gemara. Another shul, further, another Shiur, they learn Mishnayos, etc., etc. Another one doesn't learn, but he goes 3 times a day to daven in shul. And there is some people that go to shul only in the morning. Then lower than that is someone who goes to the shul only Shabbos, and only someone who goes only Yontiv. Till the Apteker Zun, the pharmacist's son, only goes Rosh and Yom Kippur. But if I'm not going to say the pilpul, so in the other place, they're not going to learn the blood Gemara. In the other place, they're not going to learn the Gemara. Till, etc., till the Apteker Zun, the pharmacist Zun, the lowest Madrege, won't even come to Shul on Rosh and Yom Kippur. So that's the same story, but here the Rebbe said he will shmadzach, and he called him a different name, Yoshe the Horb, Yoshe the Klotz, So, but it's the same story with the Frierdiker told him more barichas, and Rebbe told it Kitzer like this, the way I mentioned before. But all this is to bring out that you have to remember whatever you do has a ripple effect.